Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Magic Arena Run. Today it's midweek Magic and they decide to give us Historic Pauper a few weeks before Lord of the Rings the Lord of the Rings set comes out. So the one set that would have given us a lot of new cards for Historic, we don't get to try it out for Pauper. So probably a bit weird on the timing, I guess. Maybe this would have been better for like Explorer, I suppose. Wait, we just had Explorer. We really need to have more events. Anyway, so it is Historic Pauper, so actually I'll show you guys something here. Wait, no, you won't see it from here. I'll show you guys something from here. So ignoring this deck over here, almost every deck I've played for Pauper has pretty much been either some sort has been black, blue, red, white. Green, I've only done one with green, so I figured that some give green more representation. Yeah, we had to go Merfolk. We needed to have we could not go mono green with this, but this is relatively aggro for it is quite aggro for what it is. So let's get the standard cards right out. Let's get the standard cards out of the way. So 4 copies of Mistcloak Herald, 4 copies of Jadebearer. This is pretty much the Ixalan special. 4 copies of Shaper Apprentice, 4 copies of Jungleborn Pioneer. That's pretty much the core of the deck. We do get to have we do get Kaldheim to give us some good additional options. 4 copies of Guardian Bladewalker, 2 copies of Mass Vandal, and okay, we're playing one additional card from to round out the numbers here. 1 Faceless Agent. I suppose we could have added some Storm Sculptors, but I wanted to make this more green than blue. Otherwise, River Herald's Boon is the original pump spell for Merfolk. We're adding Crashing Tide to give us some additional card draw and some interaction. But we also got some other interesting interaction. Again from the Jumpstart Historic Horizons, we get Savage Swipe, and it is relatively easy to get a 2-power creature between this and the +1/+1 counters. 4 copies of Snakeskin Veiled, also again to boost the powers. Aside from the 1 Faceless Agent, we're also running 1 copy of Meeting of the Minds just to give us some emergency card draw. Other than that, we are running quite a good number of dual lands because we could run more, but I think this is a good number. We generally don't want to play until turn 2. We are running single Colony Garden, so a few copies of Colony Gardens in emergency case. That's pretty much it here. Other options we could add here are say Bone Splitter to give us additional aggro. Shore Up would give us additional protection if we wanted to, and we could easily lean this towards closer to mono blue. There are enough Merfolk to make it mono blue, I suppose, between this and some of the other changelings. Though you get the cheaper changelings in green. So that said, yeah, we'll run the Hideout turn 1 into a Masked Vandal turn 2. Yeah, it's of little value, but it's still fine. Then probably Jungleborn Pioneer turn 3, or Jadebearer. No, not. It depends on what else we draw. Our deck maxes out at 3 mana, so having the 3 mana here is quite fine. We are expecting quite a bit of aggro here. So let's play the Masked Vandal. I suspect our opponent will be stacking interaction on this card, like a bunch of auras, so Crashing Tide will be quite relevant here. The next one we can go Shaper Apprentice, Jadebearer, Shaper Apprentice, Jadebearer. Only green sticking to the 1 mana. Okay, so let's attack first. See if our opponent is that particular. No, not quite. So we'll do Jadebearer. And then the Shaper Apprentice. We're gonna kind of go all in here. That said, a pacifism would be really annoying. Let's see if they do have the pacifism. Nope, Bone Splitter. That said, I can still swing with my entire board. If opponent swings a Healer's Hawk, I will block. That's a given. Yeah, and we're gonna be actually seeing a lot of aggro decks because this is pretty much the default. We're gonna swing with all of these guys, and it's gonna block. We're gonna surprise him with River Herald Spoon. And we might as well play. Ah, never mind. Opponent conceded. Yep. It's the old Ixalan classic, and it's actually still doing quite well. I would say that it does bode well for Pauper as an eternal format. There are so many old strategies that kind of work. We do get nerfed by certain strategies, but that's kind of par for the course, I'd suppose. Can't complain too much about that. Also, didn't help that that there's another really bad habit. Opponent shaved off way too much mana. They were they were thinking, oh, I could just play one land and I could get away. They got away with most of their stuff. So for the record, we are running 22. We are running 22 lands, and I could technically cut even one more, but I opted not to. It does get awkward at times if you're not careful. But otherwise, like I could cut one more for another meeting of the minds or something to that effect. Other alternatives would be to add lands with cycling. That would also be a decent option. I could probably add a few of those since we're not really playing on one. In this case, we will be playing a turn one. We will be having a turn one play. We'll probably do Herald into Shaper Apprentice, hold up River Herald's Boon. We'll see if we can. We'll see if we can drop the Jungleborn Pioneer. The Hexproof token actually doing quite a number. Opponent does take a mulligan. And opens into blue and into a Fairy Seer. So this is the Ninja deck. So something to keep in mind. They're gonna be drawing a lot of cards this way. I originally had a few copies of a spell that would let me choose. Oh, no ninja. That was weird. Oh, okay. Opponent missed the timing. Now I'm very inclined to block at this point. If we can force them to pay 4 mana for their 2/2, so be it. It could also be a big trick, but no, I'm willing to trade. Opponent drops a Moon Circuit Hacker. Now I could, well, ooh, interesting thought. And this one is only kind of random, but that trade enabled this other trade. Not bad. I added a few Masked Vandals because I really needed to have more 2-drop Merfolk. Kind of opponent is swimming in. Yeah, they probably would have just I bet they've had a bunch of other ninjas, but they really messed up that sequence there. Well, it's a learning experience for our opponent. They will not make that same mistake again. So doing quite well, relatively fast. We'll probably get about a few more games of this one. Let's see how it's only been 9 minutes so far. Maybe not that deep, but we'll see how it pans out. Also, I probably should put the audio on headphones. Actually, I could also put in speakers here, so that way I can both hear myself and hear what's going on. We're definitely keeping this one. Mystical Herald. No Mystical Herald. Okay, technically we can do Mystical Herald and Jade Bearer in turn 2. Do the Broker's Hideout first whenever possible. It's really for the mana fixing, but I usually say that deck thinning is very incidental. You only get like what, 2% hurt. We'll take one toxic counter, that's a given. So next turn we can do Shaper Apprentice with Snakeskin build backup. Not so bad. I think this is gonna just be Grassless Walls. Now that said, if our opponent does make a sacrifice, it will be awkward. We will lose a flyer in that respect. So we're hoping our opponent just goes for an Anointed Affliction. We can just Snakeskin build that thing. Kinda wish he will pass the blocker. Yeah, I'm gonna pass it. They already dropped their Cycler. Grassless Fall, can't beat. I can Grassless Fall out and board is clear. Thank you. Oh, that is another Merfolk. Thank goodness it's another Shaper Apprentice. That should give us a clear fine support. Also, Tommy. So, I'm actually gonna swing with both here. Okay, opponent did not fall. Like one red. The opponent is an issue. Opponent is gonna pass. Yeah, very good. Start swinging in earnest next turn. I do want to protect this. I kind of want to bait out the move. They might have a second remove. That's fine. Yet another Pestilent Cycler, so we hurt another. The opponent is out of cards though. We also kind of need to. It might be awkward if our opponent does hit removal. Proliferate. Might as well strike. We don't have any cards in hand. And Masked Vandal is... It's a creature. Not the best creature, but it's still something. The opponent is going to start to attack the draw card. They are kind of cards down here. Then we can swing with the token. See if we can protect it with the block. No blocks. I can cast this. There's another thing, and we can still end up turn Scry. Only digging even more, but yeah, it's kind of different. This deck worked a lot better in Artisan. So, okay. Digging for that removal spell, but they're one counter short. Yep, that's it. They were short. It was a very valiant effort. I actually considered doing this, but I already did the blue-black toxic deck before, and I felt that it was okay. It was kind of okay in Artisan. It wasn't even historic Artisan. So the amount of power you have to go through is in consideration. So still yet to show the fight spells. Those would have been really neat. let's keep going. I think we can go for at least one more match. We can get ourselves a 20 minute win and leave it. We will be quite solid. Also note that it's not just Snakeskinville, but that will be quite a better one. There is so turn to Guardian Glade Walker into turn 3 possible Vandal Jade Bear. And I will note that I actually do want to trade creatures if possible, so that because I suspect our opponent's gonna have enchantments, the Masked Vandal coming live would be a very good deal. No, it's white black, so at least they are thinking this through. That will be the first card in Blade Walker. The next turn we can do Pioneer or save or Vandals, then pull up Snakeskin Veil. We have options. I want to see what our opponent has. Our opponent is considering a removal spell. I'm expecting a removal spell. Now, note if our opponent drops an aura, it would be awkward because I will have to trade the Blade Walker just to get a shot at removing the aura. Something of note. Opponent is really thinking hard. Like, I'm not gonna swing quite yet. I could go for Pioneer, but so this just gives it hexproof, so it would trade with the Blight Priest, which is not a big deal. I suppose what I could do is I could play Jade here. Swing for 3. See if our opponent trades with Blight Priest. No, just trades with that. That's fine. This one knife, sure. And end the turn. He could have opted to play Quandrix Campus at this point, but I wasn't sure which sequence I wanted to do. When it was inspiring Overseer. We're gonna be racing here. So a lot of the life loss is gonna be incidental, but not too bad. If our opponent swings with Blight Priest, would I block with Jade Bearer? Probably. Okay. There would have been something. Okay. I'm just gonna savage like this get out of the way. And familiar. Okay, this one is this mishmash. Opponent really wants to keep this alive. And I should also thank our opponent for doing that, because now we have the creature to nuke it. Now we can nuke the edge familiar with Masked Vandal. Offering that bait. That really was now I'm really curious. Now, usually running Charm Stray is the hallmark of a beginner deck. Another Blight Priest, another familiar. So at least our opponent has been playing quite recently. So Blight Priest is a bit of an older one. we kind of want to. So we're just saving the mass vandal in case. But our opponent did learn from that last time. Not, and yeah, just that little tempo, and just that little tempo shift. That's actually what makes Crashing Kite quite good. And on team, and we do get the win there. If I were to build a white-black life gain deck, and I probably would build. That's a catch. Most of the cards I would build it around are uncommon, so it's not very easy to build around it. So it's not quite straightforward as we normally do. I guess we can do one more match. Do one more. It's been like 21 minutes. Let's do one more. Also, really curious to see if you like. I know you guys can hear me, but I can hear myself better if I echo. But okay, we're doing one more match. Looks like so that now the one caveat of this is you can sometimes just get wins from a free event like this because the opponent's just not happy with their hand. They just it's fine. I would honestly try to learn how to. I would try to learn to go through at least one mulligan instead of just waiting for the perfect hand every time, because you will lose more games than you will win if you just give up with us for every subpar hand. Actually, I should have tried to take a look quickly at our opponent's deck. Maybe we could see why. No, as in look at the deck size. Usually it has another indicator as well. So this one is okay. We have 2 drops, and we have some removal if need be. So I would listen. Just paper up this first if our opponent has a counter spell. Usually blue-black is an indicator for that. No essence capture. Probably remove this one. So ideally I would hit 1 more mana. Yeah, now we're actually getting shunted at mana. So there is still a risk. There's the essence scatter. Opponent's gonna be playing true control for the most part. We really need to hit another land, which is probably not gonna do us any favors. Yeah, the deck is kind of 3/5 creature. Ignoring the land, it's 3/5 creatures with one creature, so there is a risk of getting answered. I'm tempted to just play this. I'm also tempted to play this, but if the opponent just counters it, these get stranded anyway. Let's play the Faceless Agent first. It's the least concerning of the bunch. And we still get a creature card off it, even if our opponent just has removal. Like that. So we can now kind of play this and build up some support. We really need to exhaust the rest of our opponents pretty much. Protection. They have a bounce spell. No, they don't. But that said, they could still have a regular removal spell. It will have to be more expensive the moment you use it. Outreader Sphinx. Also a bit awkward that this is I could 1 more mana. I could actually. See if we can. Okay, Okay, opponent did not fight, which is quite how to say this? Quite disciplined. Yeah, we'll still hold up the Snakes of the Veil. Next turn, I'm gonna go Jungleborn Pioneer into fight. Though I would prefer to have one more mana so I can back Archer. You have another function. Nope. Opponent has like a bad way. Definitely want more green. Oh, I do want to punch this fire here. With this one for free, not too bad. And we have to also consider that we can, if our opponent doesn't have there are better cards in divination. So we'll play Mass Vandal first. And doesn't matter which one. And opponent concedes. Looks like the control plan didn't go quite well. To be fair, it actually feels like our opponent just shoved all their comments together and tried to see if it would stick. No, you still have to build. You still have to build around it. You can't just put together an amalgam of a pile. We're close to 30. That's been I think that's 6 wins already. So we can call this episode. Yeah, that's 6 wins. Let's call this episode. That's going to be it for this episode of Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications and whatnot. Admittedly, a very plain Jane episode. I didn't even get to use some River Herald's Boon or some of the other neat tricks, but there is enough gas. For it to make this deck work, and even the small dorks with the Savage Punch will do quite well. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great weekend.